So YouTube had just emailed me and told me that I'm monetized, which is great because I only started my channel 6 weeks ago. So there's the email they sent me. Here's my watch time. I'm kind of shocked at how well this has worked. I started a new YouTube channel to see how fast I could get monetized and documented the whole process. So in this video I'm going to show you just how that happened, as well as this. All of these emails are from brands reaching out to do a sponsorship on the channel, which is just awesome. Growing a YouTube channel is incredibly hard, and every day thousands of people around the world put crazy amounts of effort into trying to do it. But the reason this challenge started was because when I went to make the whole get monetized on YouTube video and did my usual research to see the advice out there, I realized something. If I started again now, I'd pretty much do none of the things that we get told to do. I wouldn't devote much time to search. I probably wouldn't promote my videos outside of YouTube at all. I just focus on making videos for people, not algorithm. So let's face it, if I'd made a video saying, but you should consider this method, it's all just talk, right? So I thought, well, I'll start again and just document the process to getting 1000 subscribers and 4000 watch hours in an attempt to help new creators discover another way of doing things. So I set out to do just that. And the first thing to do was to set some goals. Okay, so my goal here isn't actually to get monetized. I think that's a bad goal because it forces you to chase viewers and subscribers, not the right kind of viewers and subscribers. So my first goal is to build a community of YouTube viewers who are really interested in the content I make. I want as many mega fans of the topic as possible because I feel like these guys are more likely to click on the content when they see it, as well as watch it for longer. And my plan to do this is to get YouTube to suggest the videos I make to these people. I'm not going to promote one video outside of YouTube because I believe this can actually be quite damaging. And also, I think YouTube is better at knowing who to show our content to than we are most of the time. So I'm just going to keep this channel a complete secret. And I've decided another goal is to try and get more return viewers in a 28-day period than I have subscribers. Now, that's not a secret hack of the algorithm or anything. And of course, I want to keep getting new people come in. But I feel like return viewers to a channel are your community, as they're active and subscribers aren't. And YouTube shows your return viewers in the back end. So to me, focusing on return viewers will help the channel get monetized, but also build the right kind of community to help it grow faster. So now I need to explain to you the strategy I would use that achieved monetization so fast. Now we're often taught that we should make videos for search in the beginning. You know the kind of thing, how to do X videos with lots of keywords in the title. Problem is when 75% of views on YouTube come from suggested views. Why would you ignore this? The whole problem with that is though, suggested is a very different game. So let me explain. There's these things called traffic sources. This is data about where your videos are discovered on YouTube. So we have browse, and when you click it, you can see that's videos discovered on the home page and subscription feed here and here, suggested, which is those videos down the side of search, which, you guessed it, is in search, and then others. But those were kind of the big three. But then each traffic source has its own algorithm. So if you get a high percentage of people click on your video when it's shown to them on the home page, YouTube will then give that video more impressions on the home page, which is this figure here, a very important figure. But at the same time, if that percentage is very low in suggested, YouTube will stop promoting that video in that part of YouTube. And that's it in simplest form. And that's kind of the problem, because in many cases you tend to see content made for search doesn't do that well in browse, which is also a big problem for building those repeat viewers because they watch what's suggested to them. And getting suggested just requires a different approach. Now to give you an example, let's say I'm going to make a video about iPhone 14 review. A search-based video would be called iPhone 14 review because that's what people type into search, right? Problem with this is often when YouTube starts suggesting these videos as a test, let's say on the homepage, it's just not that interesting, is it? So a title written for an algorithm doesn't have the same impact on a human, so it's suggested that you flip it and you call the video something like I tried smashing an iPhone, and it's all about writing titles that appeal to people that intrigue more rather than something that's full of keywords. By the way, I just paused this to let you know that you still will need some keywords, but they're not everything. So in order to do this well, you need to spend the time working out who your viewers are and what they really care about, because if you don't do that, you will never establish what it is they will click on. So to do this, you go through a process that's known as building an avatar. Avatars are common in marketing The idea is you work out 1, 2, 3 or 4 different types of people might be interested in your content or your survey, and the more you learn about these people, the easier it is to come up with titles that they will click on because they'll feel like you're talking directly to them. So to create an avatar, I put myself in my viewers' shoes and listed all of the things I thought they might care about: their fears, their frustration, their age, location, how much they earn, what they did on the weekend, what they thought about the second they woke up, and I ended up with this spreadsheet. Alright, so now let's look at their fears. Fear of rejection and criticism, fear of invisibility, fear of running out of content ideas, and fear of monetization and income. So can you see how thinking about these things will give you the ability to come up with a title that this kind of people will be way more interested in clicking? For example, struggling to sell your X. Try this. It's just so much more impactful than how to sell X online in 2024. The best selling tips ever, using that exact structure on a video from the new channel. It picked up 15,000 views so far. The majority, as you can see here, from suggested and browse, and it's still moving in the right direction. So I then started researching other channels in the niche, looking for what they did that worked well. What type of videos did they make? How did they produce content? Questions that people have in the comments, and something happened just completely freely. So I either just stumbled across something that's really good news or really bad news. Basically all of the competition I've been checking out kind of covering the same topics, and what I realized is none of them are actually targeting the frustrations and the things that I've written down on my spreadsheet. In fact, I've actually found one video talking about the things that I want to talk about and I think people want to know about. So what that could mean is there's just zero market at all for my idea, or a more exciting option is that I've found a gap, because if there's some level of demand, then this might be a winner. So on my avatars and my research, I then set out to plan my strategy. So here is my plan. Video 1 is going to target a trending topic that will hopefully get the ball rolling, bring in a few views and build up the initial audience. Videos 2, 3 and 4, I'm going to target evergreen search terms. Video 5, that's when I'm going to hopefully target frustrations and interests and goals and all those things that I've put on that avatar sheet. The key here would be to make sure these videos work with the videos that I had made before for search. Now what I mean by that is this: if they find a video in search, what would be the next thing they would want to know about after watching that video? So I sat down and wrote up some title ideas and then started making the videos. And here's what happened. Video 1, targeting the trending topic. So the first video got 90 views in 2 days. I did absolutely no promotion anywhere at all, and then as expected, it crashed a few days later and nothing else happened to it. Then video 2 dropped 15 views in 2 months. Video 3, it was a real slow performer. For 10 days, it did pretty much nothing, and then at the same time, it took off in the search results and on the homepage and in suggested. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes it takes a little while for things to get going. And then the fourth release, also built for search and suggested. But this was the decisive moment here, and notice this one got picked up in search within a few hours, which to me says probably not a topic that well catered for people looking for that information. So I decided to make more around that topic, and that then led me onto this bad boy, which now has over 77,000 views in 2 months. 10 days in, I built up 2,500 unique viewers. So I decided it was time to start targeting getting browse and suggestive views. So remembered I said earlier that I'd noticed these other channels were not covering topics I thought that my target viewer or avatar would be interested in on my spreadsheet. Well, this next video, I thought it was time to test that out. I made a video on, I kind of thought what their biggest issue would be that they would want solving, and I released it and it dropped, which was really frustrating. And that's a feeling I get pretty much YouTube about this channel. So I moved on to try another idea based around a problem I thought they all had, and that didn't drop. It actually picked up 1,600 views in the first 24 hours, and then a day or so later, this happened. The previous video I thought would either crash or burn actually got picked up by browse and suggested, and wow, I found 2 topics in the same week that were a hit. So I went and made more videos in that series, and they went on to do quite well too. And that brings us up to this moment. So YouTube had just emailed me and told me that I'm monetized, which is great because I only started my channel 6 weeks ago. Here's my watch time. I'm kind of shocked at how well this has worked. But the thing that really surprised me was I'd actually been making faceless videos before this point. So I was never actually on camera. Because things were going so well, I decided to get in front of the lens. And it just made the biggest difference. Suddenly my inbox was flooded. This is crazy. This is all the sponsorship emails I've received. all of these are from brands who have reached out for a sponsorship deal. I did not expect that. And that brings me up to where I was yesterday. So it's been just under 90 days now since I started the challenge. And did I hit the goals? Well, yes, monetization happened in 6 weeks, and I'm going to show you my analytics. You can see that the channel has made $152 in ad revenue, but more importantly, in the last 28 days, my return viewers have been higher than the amount of subscribers I have, with just under 3,000 of them. 1,600 subscribers. And probably the most unexpected thing is the whole sponsorship side of this, which was not even a thought in my mind at the beginning. And I'm about to start my 6th sponsored video, so I'm spending the time on working out who my viewers are, what they care about, and how to write titles that really appeal to them as people, not algorithms. That's the thing I think you should consider looking at now. But let's not ignore the two elephants in the room though. Firstly, it probably wouldn't be fair if I didn't make it crystal clear that if I had not found this gap in the research phase, then this would not have happened as fast. But then again, that's why you should do the research, right? Also, I'm not competing against Mr. Beast and some of the biggest and best video creators in the world. And secondly, I've been making videos since I was 18. So for this project, I didn't have to learn how to film, write, edit, produce, present and all of the things that new channels have to learn to do before they can make any real progress and get the kind of retention and click-through rates that you need for this to work so well. And that's a valid lesson because YouTube is just not a level playing field. But most importantly, if you want to give your channel the best fighting chance possible of doing something like this, you need to learn to make the best videos you can. That's why you need to watch this video next, because I use every tip that's in this video.
This guy is a genius.
Thank you so much, Patel Ovesh.
You need to hire Patel Ovesh.
Ovesh is a YouTube monetization expert.
OIS is amazing.
Thanks to Patel Ovesh,
Ovesh can be
I felt Patel Ovesh.